Okay, so I went ahead and already pulled the cards. They wanted to talk. A lot of great cards here. Um, I pulled from the same deck that I used last time just to see, if there's any different cards. I think you have like a little bit of the same, but a lot of new cards. I also pulled from my activation deck. Absolutely love this deck for, if I'm feeling I just need like a little more oomph. And you had gotten Stargate Heart, which is for the heart chakra. You got Temple of Truth for the throat chakra, Sacred Inner Space for the sacral chakra, and then the Halls of Learning, which is kind of like the Akashic Records in a way. Whenever you go to the astral realm and you're sleeping, you can go to this place to kind of learn more. So I feel like you're definitely being guided to dive in deeper, go down some wormholes of learning what you had, witnessed in ayahuasca and just take your learning even deeper. Also, I use the message from the Ancestors Oracle deck. Beautiful cards with that. The last one, Explore, Adventure. I would tie that into also the learning and going in deeper within and exploring yourself even more, but also getting out in nature, of course. Find your passions. What is fueling your fire? That was on the bottom of this deck. And you also got creativity and artist. I was thinking you could possibly, with your painting, you can do this in a meditative state and channel, and like you can close your eyes. Some people do this with writing. They channel a message and they just write. I forget what it's called. But you can just paint the message that you're seeing and just channel a message and see what picture comes out of it, and see if there's a message within the painting or within what you wrote or drew. You're definitely moving out of stagnation, movement toward adventure. So again, that's another to adventure. Spirit of the river. So actually, both of these cards. Spirit of the river, and she looks like she's standing in a river. So you're definitely being asked to dive deeper and explore, wander between realms. So learn even more, which I've never had this card before. So this is really cool. I feel like it goes in with the halls of learning and going between realms. You're not just on this physical plane anymore. You've elevated into another consciousness. Like your brain isn't just at a 3D level anymore. Like you know too much now to go back. So you just need to move forward. You did have Will o' the Wisp, Treasures in the Shadows. And while I was shuffling, there's a card that stood out to me. It didn't pop out, but it stood out to me. It was about transmuting. So I feel like with the treasures hitting in the shadows, obviously you're still going to have shadow work that's going to come up. But I feel like now you have this higher perspective of know what to do with these shadows. And when these shadows come up, feel the energy. Think back to where it comes from, where it stems from, but also transmute this energy now. You have this power to take this energy and transmute it into loving energy. A revelation, unmarked trail. So maybe now you feel like you're kind of going into the unknown, like what's next. Now that you got this info, you had this healing. So you've had this revelation. Beginner's mind, first breath. I feel like you finally feel like you can breathe again. Like you're just like this huge wake up call came over you. And now you're at this, it says beginner's mind, and I feel like with you it represents like now you just have this whole new like wormhole just to dive down into, like just an explorer. all these new possibilities for you, because now you see from a whole other perspective. But you're still being asked to definitely rest, time to replenish, empty well. So don't forget to, it says rest and renewal, time to replenish. Don't forget to like fill your cup up too. I know you had said others come to you, and they came to you, but just remember while you're there for them to be there for yourself. Protecting the future. This is another one I haven't seen yet. Dragon's Horde. I feel like this is, so you actually had a lot of keys come out in this reading. Mindful groupthink, which I think you had this card last time. And then the Dragon's Horde card, they all have keys. Usually when I think of keys, I think of Goddess Hecate, but I feel like they want you to unlock something deeper within yourself. You have the key to do this. You have the key to do what it is you want to do, and you just got to open that door. Protecting the future makes me think of protecting your thoughts, your the way you see life now, because you have elevated so much and you have seen, and now you know. So protect that. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise, because they do not know. They don't know what you know. They may not even understand what you know. But definitely make sure, also with protecting the future, you're protecting yourself on who you tell things to, which I know you said you're not telling a lot of people things, but just protect overall your mind, body, and soul from others who don't understand anything that you're talking about. Because I mean, there is a lot of us now elevating and raising the vibration, but there's still like 90% of the whole population that are still unawakened. So you're going to run into people who just really don't understand. So just protect what your mind already knows. Choices and their consequences came out. Feast of Plenty. And then dances on one foot with a lunar moth, a green lunar moth. I actually saw one yesterday, but it's balancing act. I'm hearing the word karma. Karma. I'm going to come back to this one. But to have a balancing act of it could be a balancing act of the spiritual realm with the physical realm, but also choices and consequences. I'm gonna think on that one. I just hear karma, so just maybe be aware of the things that you do and the words. Oh, okay, all right. The words that you say and the thoughts that you have are probably really powerful. I'm not even gonna say probably. They are powerful. So every thought and everything you say and project out towards, people, yourself, are really powerful. Make sure you are always thinking positive, saying positive. It's okay for, thoughts to come up that can be really crazy. Maybe like in a negative sense, if any thoughts like that come up, or like a judgment or something, like feel it, but then, say that holds no power over me. Um, just try to always do good. I think the balancing act could come to back to the time to replenish and rest and renewal also. Um, hold space for others, but make sure you're holding space for you. All right, I'm going to get into reading these now. All right, it's easy to be influenced by others right now. Especially in our digital age, it's hard to protect yourself from the energy and the sheer amount of information bombarding you 24/7. If you allow all the fear and uncertainty to pollute your mind and emotions, you'll fill yourself up with this negativity and then see more of it in the outer world. Stay out of gossip and other forms of groupthink, for when you cut another person down to their level due to their perceived mistakes or limit them by your envy, you activate lack for yourself. So fill yourself with thoughts of plenty. Imagine your universe unfettered by scarcity and alive with abundance, hope, and goodness. Be mindful of what your mind is full of and keep the faith. Good brings more good, more love, and gratitude, more things to be grateful for. Okay, so I feel like that confirms the Feast of Plenty and choices and consequences and karma. To make sure you're always keeping in a positive mindset. Also, absolutely staying out of the gossip and the drama, because who you're around is the energy you're surrounding yourself with. So, Will-o'-the-Wisp has come to you once again to offer you magic, but you will have to sacrifice certainty in the pursuit of adventure, your comfort zone for the dangers of discovery, your well-trodden path for the detours that may very well lead you astray, or will they? Can you accept that losing yourself will bring you closer to your true self? The profound shift of an epiphany can occur only when you risk the detour and enter the unknown. Now is the time to trust the higher forces to lead you into this place, these worlds hidden at the threshold between what was and what can be. Here is where you will learn about your own unmaking to unmask yourself. Love what you discover, dark or light, see it all as divine, and find a quiet, thrumming power waiting for you to channel it into the world for good. The treasure you find, fill it with the wealth of love and kindness, true prosperity is ripe to share with others. She is here for you now. Will you accept her invitation? A great bounty of goodness awaits you. Spirit of the river, movement toward adventure, addiction to problems, allowing and trusting the current. The spirit of the river invites you to step into the flow and stop swimming against or avoiding the current. Allow the waters to carry you downstream, away from the eddies and whirlpools. It's time to heed the call of a new adventure waiting for you. Stop working on the problem for a while. The issue is not what it seems. It is your addiction to fixing what has gone bad that is consuming so much of your time. Work to create a greater good, and the bad will resolve itself on its own. There is nothing that you can accomplish with more efforting, as the situations in your life right now are subject to forces beyond your control. Recognize this, step back, and trust the flow. There is no loss of face or lack of honor or integrity. It is simply the way things are at this moment. When this card appears, it is time to say yes to the next leg of your journey. Your life is like a river, inevitably and inexorably flowing to the sea, which is your divine destination. Be fearless and release yourself to the rushing water in the middle of the stream. Whatever it is you are holding on to, the feelings, the thoughts, the beliefs about how things are or how they should or could be, can be fixed easily with the power of the spirit of the river. Simply let go and enjoy the thrill of the ride. All will be well. And I was going to add, if this doesn't exactly resonate, or if it does resonate, this could be in the now moment, or it could be a couple weeks from now. So there could be a gauge on when this card could actually resonate. Straddling worlds. Wandering between realms, reinvention. When the straddling world card shows up, it's an invitation to get used to living with one foot in your old world and one foot in the new. There's no going back to the way things once were, and what will be is not yet fully here. You must find the delicate balance. Balancing act. Okay, dances on one foot. That makes sense. You must find the delicate balance that can bring you delight as you relish the past and all your memories, along with awe as you glimpse the astonishing and exciting future. Do not wait for applause. Move on quietly, humbly, invisible. Invisible to others. This card brings an invitation to begin not only a new chapter but a new book in your life. Do not break the news to anyone. Let people be surprised as you reinvent yourself. Make sure you are not just a slightly improved and more polished version of a dated or obsolete you. Birth yourself into someone original. Do not feel like you have to explain yourself or be understood by anyone. Become a mystery even to yourself. Gaze into the mirror one morning and be pleasantly surprised. I don't know if you've heard of mirror work, but staring into the mirror is a really great way to do shadow work. Looking at yourself, do it in a way, however it comes to you, but thank yourself. Look into the mirror and look at your face and thank yourself for all of the versions of you and remember how far you've come. Yeah, remember how far you've come. You may start crying at that moment in time. It may get real emotional, so. Straddling Worlds invites you to become a true wizard, not one who performs magic tricks, but one who has mastered the dance between the invisible and the invisible worlds, between the realms of form and formlessness. You are the birther of new ideas, of original and sustainable ways of being in the world. Okay, so this one as well is saying to keep your quests private. So don't tell many people about what you're doing or your path. Be very stealth about it. Because if a lot of people if you tell a lot of people and they just don't understand, that can also create like envy or like drama towards you that you just don't need. But you're really being told to move in silence. Move in silence, but also, okay, it's kind of conflicting. Like move in silence, but also speak your truth out at the same time, but use discernment on who you're speaking your truth to. Just absolutely use discernment. So this one says you're now called to embark on a sacred journey. The Arthurian knights, in their quest for the Holy Grail, had to make sure to take an unmarked trail that no one had ever followed, or they would not accomplish their goal. Likewise, you must enter the darkest forest of your soul via a route as yet unidentified to find what you seek. The manicured paths will bring you only temporary pleasure and later great pain. Stop it. You already know there is no reward at the end of the road you are following. You are only killing time. Pause, breathe, and commit in your heart to a sacred endeavor. Vow to not look for old solutions that may have worked with past challenges. Get out of character, try the outrageous, and keep your quest private. Now is not the time to speak of the voice that called you to embark to the unmarked trail. That time will come. The unmarked trail can be a sign that you have already made a choice, even if you do not want to acknowledge it. Be at peace with what your heart knows to be true. Your heart has already been made up, and your mind will follow. Pack lightly, taking only with you the essential beliefs that you know to be trustworthy under all circumstances. The universe has your back. All right, protecting the future, legacy, true riches. In the dragon's hoard, jewels and precious objects scatter the ground, while the ancient scrolls inscribed with the wisdom teachings lie within reach. This is a rich opportunity, and you can fill your satchel with treasures you like best. Take the gifts offered to you and delegate them to the well-being of all, beginning with your own. But beware, all that glitters is not gold. Select the precious treasures that will further your spiritual growth and avoid the shiny objects that are empty of real value. Know that the hoard does not belong to you, it belongs to our grandchildren. What is the inheritance that you wish to leave for tomorrow? What seeds are you planting that you will harvest in your old age when you are weary? What seeds will bear fruit after you are no longer here? The dragon guards the legacy of the future. All who come empty-handed or to fill only their own pockets with gold lie in a dusty heap of bones. You have been allowed entrance by virtue of your kindness and or your spiritual practice or sheer luck. Consider as well that your present this moment is the future to the dragon. You may be the one we have all been waiting for, so do not hesitate to take what bequest has been reserved for you since the beginning of time. This is the time to be bold. Do not delay or overthink. Remember to bring an offering for the dragon, least believe you are least let's see. Remember to bring an offering for the dragon, least it believe you are its lunch. A simple prayer will do. All right, so these two do in fact go together. A great feast is laid out before you and requires you to choose. What will satisfy your hunger? Something new and unconventional with its potential for bitter or savory qualities, or something you already know you love? You are faced with a plethora of options right now, and while that may seem to be an extraordinary thing, too many choices can throw you off balance. You might be worried that once you commit, you won't be able to turn back or refuse to confront the consequences of that decision. The most important thing to realize is that the feast is offering you experience. No amount of overanalyzing or strategizing will help you make the right choice now. Don't debate the right or wrongness, instead just choose. And the choosing is the seed of experience, and that is what's necessary right now. Sour, bitter, sweet, savory. What matters is relishing the experience until you digest all that your choice is offering you right now. Only one warning: avoid the same choice if it keeps you hungry. If something didn't feel good or does not bring you what it seemingly promised, do not choose that again. The experience will only repeat itself, and you will have more than a bad taste in your mouth. The feast is yours to enjoy. You can always go back for more when you're hungry again, for life's blessings are ever available to you and calling your name. So funny, Jonathan is feeding Salem, and he has the song on, Dancing Makes You Happy. Dancing is also a great way to get your energy moving and stagnant energy out of your chakras, and also helps with like anger, and you can actually use and transmute that anger while dancing as well. So I just want to throw that out there. When dances on one foot shows up, you are called to find a new balance. Just as a dancer moves gracefully into each pose, no matter how precariously balanced a step might seem, you must bring equanimity. Ooh, okay, I don't know what that word is. Equanimity to the situation before you, no matter how thorny or difficult a relationship seems. If you are putting too much effort into managing your life, work, relationship, family, and digital media, you are missing the point. You have to be dancing while juggling your entire life, knowing that at any one time, half of it is going to be up in the air. It's not that you are doing too much and find it impossible to catch up. Rather, it's that you are confusing readiness with preparation. You will never ever be fully prepared for all the challenges in life, but you can be ready to say yes to a new invitation the universe offers you. Live in a state of yes to spirit and no to everything not infused with life, romance, vitality, and the sacred. You will be surprised by how quickly your load lightens and when you hold true to this lesson. You are challenged now to work with the resources available to you and not to be seduced by the belief, if I only had more. Life has provided you with everything you need to accomplish your goals and fulfill your mission. When it feels like you are losing your balance, do not contract, holding your arms close to your chest, for you will fall. Instead, reach out and extend them fully, saying yes to Spirit's steadying hand. I forgot a card. Bottom of the deck of that, the Shaman's Dream deck was Magician's Sword, confidence in your magic. Remain confident in your new abilities. Like if you meet a person and they seem nice but their energy does not align, trust in that. Always trust in yourself and what you can do as a healer. One second. All right, so when the Magician's Sword appears, you are called to cut the cords that bind you to old thought forms and beliefs, or to friends who are not true. With the power of the Magician's Sword, nothing can stop you, hurt you, or turn you away from the beauty you seek or the goal you desire with all of your heart. The sword is a tool, not a weapon, so make sure you wield it wisely and for the greater good. Find the stuck places where you've kept tethered to a toxic person, a particular location, or a faulty thought or belief, and let the blade do its magic. You have a large endowment of magic available to you when you believe in miracles, but don't look to the heavens to grant you a wish, look within. Use the Magician's Sword to cut through limiting beliefs, and remember that all beliefs are limiting. And focus your intention in order to create what you wish. You have all the tools you need for the task at hand. You need only muster with the wherewithal to deploy the resources you have. When the Magician's Sword appears and it's time to get moving, this is not a tool for contemplation, for gazing at the finely polished edge. It is an instrument calling for decisive action. And remember, the sword is alive, with a wisdom you can summon to help you find the best course of action. Do not hesitate, act. Stargate Heart. This gateway transports us to an emerald city, the temple of our heart. This sacred space within is a place of wonder and love. Here we are reminded of the sacredness we hold within and are encouraged to know that although it's like a hidden treasure, this beauty deserves to be seen and enjoyed by the outer world. In the gateway image, there is a path to the Emerald City, but it is a path less traveled. This can represent many years of denying our self-worth and also moments during many lifetimes when we've pushed love away. But now we are moving closer to the love we are. To connect, place your hands on your heart space and breathe deeply. Invite the sacred temple within to lower its drawbridge and open its gates so that you can experience love and harmony. Your message is your heart space is sacred, is a sacred space deep within you. For some time you have protected it with psychic shields that have not only stopped you from being hurt, but also stopped you from feeling love. This gateway appears to show you that you have finally dropped these shields and are ready to experience love. Universal wisdom wants you to know that this is your divine right. You are highly empathic and generous soul who has so much love to give, and you are being called forth to reveal the deeper and more vulnerable aspects of your being. Divine light beings are surrounding you, holding you, and encouraging you to relax. All the restrictions and blockages of your heart space have now been removed. The worst is behind you, and the world needs you. This card transports us to the Temple of Truth, the inner energetic gateway that supports our truest form of expression. The image shows that this is a bright, airy, open space with flowing water. This represents the emotions that run through us. Emotions are powerful messengers, and if we don't attend to what needs to come out or through us, they build up, and before we know it, we are overwhelmed by them. To connect, place your fingertips on either side of your collarbone and breathe towards your throat center. Visualize a doorway opening or a portal forming, allowing the energy within to flow freely. You can also imagine that doorway opening and a waterfall flowing through and down your throat to clear away any blockages. Your message: when you are brought to this space, you're being reminded of the importance of your identity and your self-expression in this lifetime. Acknowledging who you have been, and who you are becoming is so important for the unfoldment of your path. There's an old story that the truth hurts. This gateway reminds you that in fact the truth heals. Your truth is your truth, and it's important for you to honor it with every facet of your being. This isn't the first incarnation in which you have felt the importance of honesty and authenticity, but it may be the first in which you had full freedom of expression. This gateway coming to you today is a message that there is something buried deep inside you that you haven't expressed, and this is causing energetic blockages on your ever unfolding path. It is a time to love yourself enough to honor the feelings that are rising up in you, for they are divine guidance that will bring you into greater alignment. Sacred inner space. So this has to deal with your sacral chakra. This card transports us to the sacred inner space. It shows us an inner temple with flowing water and lots of soft colors coming from a blooming lotus. Excuse me. This encourages us to see that our sacred parts are beautiful, energetic gateways through which we can express and manifest pure life force. To connect, visualize a drop of divine light from the heart of the universe, washing over and through your genitals. Reconnect with this energetic space and recognize that it is a space of divine power. Your message: you're being guided to the pathway of your sacred self. This is an opportunity to recognize that the more tender and vulnerable aspects of your being hold keys to great power. There we go with the keys again. Honor the sacred within. Reclaim any parts of yourself that you have disconnected from or abandoned. If you want to experience more love and belonging, look within. There is a huge lesson in finding love within yourself. Realize the false narratives have been floating around your energetic field, stories that have discouraged you from expressing yourself. You may even been lied to or told you aren't beautiful. This card is here to remind you that you are beautiful, and more importantly, you can create beauty in the world. Recognize that you hold the power of the universe within, and then you'll find your flow. Okay, I am just like opening straight up to these cards. I love when that happens. So the halls of learning. Okay, I'm just going to read all of it. The halls of learning, also sometimes known as the Great Halls, are an etheric retreat dedicated to spiritual knowledge. They are a training space for all souls, including those on earth, spirit guides, and those in between lives. They have been visited by many spiritual seekers, seers, and mediums over the years, and have been described as a giant, somewhat gothic university building with marble flooring, spiral staircases, and tall bookcases. Some have said these halls are home to the Akashic records, while others have wondered if they are connected to the halls of Amenti. I can confirm that these are actually two different retreats. Ultimately, this etheric retreat is an ancient mystery school, and it is particularly powerful for those who are opening up their psychic and clairvoyant abilities. If this gateway comes to you often, it brings confirmation that your psychic gifts are strengthening. Also, if the idea of an ancient mystery school in the astral realm seems familiar, there's a good chance that you've been there during dream time or even in between incarnations. These great halls are held in between the heart of Source and a projection of the divine mind infinite intelligence. When we visit, we are connecting directly with the wisdom of Source. Think about a challenging time or lesson you are facing and say, Source and wisdom keepers of the halls of learning, thank you for revealing to me the pattern, trauma, or wound that has created this lesson so I can heal it once and for all. And then listen carefully. Your message, you are on the path to great learning. Spiritual beings are drawing close to support you. If you are in fact facing challenging or difficult circumstances or have just moved through such a time, you're being called to review what you have learned about yourself. If you are still feeling overwhelmed by a certain event or asking why it happened, call on Source and your guides to reveal to you the pattern, trauma, or wound that has contributed to this challenge. If you aren't experiencing challenging energy, the reason is that you've made huge progress on your spiritual journey, so much so that your perspective has shifted so that you can view every challenge as a window of opportunity. The halls of learning gateway indicates that your spiritual gifts are developing at this time. All right, so with these cards, again, find that creativity, continue painting again. You can get into a meditative state and channel a message and paint in that way. Continue to use your intuition. You may have a cougar spirit animal with you. Very beautiful, divine feminine energy. Look into Kundalini breath work. I have that online course that I can refer you to, or if you want to find one in person, I love the one that I got. That way, I can do it at home. But Kundalini energy is beautiful at showing you and releasing and unblocking and really feeling the energy move in your body. Just by saying Ong Namo Gurudev Namo, and doing that chant, you can literally feel like your body moving. You can feel the energy within. It's really powerful. Also, with air, make sure you're bringing yourself back down to earth and not being so much up in the air. So remember to bring yourself back down. Explore, go out in nature, be barefoot. So make sure you're also doing that as well. With the creativity, fuel your fire, find your passions, and keep exploring and looking for what is fueling your fire. All right, so I had looked over and I saw my Isis deck, and I knew I needed to pull a card for you of that. So interestingly enough, Lady of the Stars, Priestess of Sirius. I am probably going to send you the pictures of this because it is kind of long, as well as the Celtic Goddess one. So if you'd like to read it, and there's also a ritual you can do. I just wanted to see what came out, and I think that's pretty cool. The Priestess of Sirius came out. There's also a like an incantation you can do. If you feel aligned to doing it. The other one that came out, Cartouche? I'm probably saying that wrong, but Divine Names of Power. So I'll send these to you, as well as the Celtic goddesses that came out as well. Goddess of Wishes and the Goddess of Miracles. So I'll send those to you. Thank you for having me do a reading for you. I hope it resonates. If some of it doesn't, it could be, either from now up until a couple weeks from now. I meant to make this only like a 20-minute reading, but they had a lot to say.